Hello, my friends, and welcome to the 10-minute book talk, where three best-selling authors talk all things bookish with you for 10 short and sweet minutes every day. And not only are we here, I'm Marie Bostwick, and Rachel Linden, my friend, and Katherine Reay, who's like, do we all love Catherine's new background? It's very,
Yeah.
her new office in Montana, it's very chic, very chic. Makes me want to redecorate.
Mm.
In addition to all of us, we have a real treat. We have a brand new debut author here, Kit Tosello, whose book,
Yay.
The Color of Home, we're going to be doing this later, but we're actually recording on her launch day. So this is an exciting day for all of us. We're so thrilled to have her here. And Kit, tell us a little about your brand new, very first debut novel.
I would be happy to. The Color of Home is really a story about two women, so it's intergenerational, and the younger of the two women is at the end of her rope. She's an interior designer in the Bay Area, and she's got a cranky boss, a lot of pressure, starting to have panic attacks, and she's always been career focused and ambitious, and that's maybe she's made her home in those things. And at this very inopportune time, her great aunt, who's like a grandmother figure to her, requests her help to come to this small town in Central Oregon, where she spent a lot of her most happy summers, but also is associated with a tragedy about her father. So, but her great aunt needs her help to get the house ready to move to assisted living because Uncle Dean has Alzheimer's. And so this is a story about her coming back to this town and having to reconcile with the past, and also to think about what are those things that is she making her home in the right things? Is lots of lots of lots of characters, a lot of folksy people that weasel their way into her heart and give her pause to think about what's important, and especially a young girl named Paige, who has a father who's incarcerated and really needs a friend. And what does that look like?
Very good. Good
Wow.
job on that elevator
Yeah.
pitch. So thank
So
you.
I
I
have to
tried.
say, whether you write 2 novels or 50 novels, your debut holds a special place in your heart. And what inspired this one? Like, how long had you been cultivating it, and what inspired the story?
Yeah. Well, by the time I finished writing this, probably 7 years had gone by. And this was my first piece of finished fiction. Even though I considered myself a writer all my life, I started taking it seriously about 15 years ago and writing nonfiction mostly.
Mhm.
So these characters are the ones that just wouldn't let me go. And that's where it really started, was carrying Audrey and in my head. And we had also had a situation where we sold our house and downsized, economic downturn. And I was now making my daily walks past this abandoned inn that had some mystery around it. Why were people letting this beautiful inn go? And so it began with that, really. What's Audrey's relationship to this house, and why is it important to her to know, uh, to see that there's redemptive value in this? And then the great aunt is really fashioned after, or loosely inspired anyway, by my aunt, who also was key to me in inspiring me to write, encouraging me, giving me my first journal and books when I was young, and encouraging reading and talking about reading as I was a teenager, about books. And so it was fun to bring her in and really give her a spotlight, because she's got wisdom. She's been through a lot, that a lot of losses, grief, trauma, and and to put the two women together at different seasons in their life, when they're both thinking about reevaluating the meaning of home,
Mhm.
but in different seasons, in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some very intriguing characters, and I should have said up front, This is a book that fits into the inspirational genre with quite a bit of faith-based elements. It's very heartwarming. It's also poignant. You do a wonderful, I admired in so many places your descriptions. You really do a beautiful job with that. And enough that this is your first book, and I'm excited to see about what you're going to do next. But something that really struck me in this novel was the setting, which is really almost a character. Now, I think I should mention that you and I met in Sisters, Oregon, and that you actually own a tea shop with your husband.
That's
right?
adorable.
So perfect, right? So
That's right.
tell us a little bit about, the setting and how you made that come alive in this book, because it really does add so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Marie. I hope that affection that I have for this place where I live comes through. And I was a kitchen designer on the Central Coast of California and spent a lot of time in the Bay Area. So I could relate to Audrey in those ways of what it was like to come, this was 20 years ago, to this small town where people moved a little slower, and there was an opportunity to think about investing in community in a new way. So I do love my small town, and I think that those who know this area will see a lot of similarities, but it is it's a fictional town, so that gave me some liberty to make up some new businesses and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's probably a huge part of the inspiration for the story, was really just where I live, where I walk, where I meet with friends, and what it's meant to me.
I
Comes
love
through
that.
beautifully. Yeah.
Okay, well, I am so excited because we get to talk with you on the day your debut novel comes out, which is amazing and such a wonderful accomplishment. I'm just going to give you a little round of applause because
Thank
we
you.
had debuts at one point and we know what it takes to get there. And I know you just mentioned like 15 years ago you started doing this.
Mm.
What has surprised you about the journey to publication so far?
A lot of things. And I think probably one of the main things is just that if I could go back and shorten the time or change it, I probably wouldn't, because the journey itself to this day, today, releasing The Color of Home, um, really shaped me. I felt like I'm a different person now than I was then. I have a different community around me than I had then, and I really believe in the importance of a strong community, even just those few people that are, that you most share life with. But having some of them be writers has made a difference. Just and being able to encourage other writers to be a part of just the whole book world and the value of story.
Yeah, it really is a strong community, isn't it? So
It really is.
and that's part of what we love to do here on the 10-minute book talk. We have debut authors now and then, and it's always kind of a special joy for us. And so, Kit, before we head off, I want to ask you one very important question. I kind of think I know what the answer to this might be, but Kit Tosello, what's bringing you joy today?
Well, there's endless joy about the fact that that this day has arrived. But some of the things, just we have a launch party planned tonight, and I'm going to actually, my editor is from Ravel, is in town from Nashville. And so I'll meet her in person for the first time. So that's huge. But also just knowing that I'll be surrounded by people that are going to be just joyful as well as me, because they've come along on the journey.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
beautiful.
I love
Love
that.
that.
It really is a special day. Just like take mental pictures and suck up every minute of this, because it's going to be a wonderful day. My friends, if you are in the mood for a heartwarming, poignant, well-written homecoming book that's just going to give you all the feels and give you reason for thinking that things can turn out and life can be good, you should definitely check out The Color of Home by Kit Tosello. I enjoyed it, and I'm sure you will too. And Kit, thanks so much for being
Thank
here with us
you.
on the 10-minute book talk today. We wish you all the best on your beginning this journey as a writer. And friends, thank you for joining us here today. And we hope you'll be back next week for more 10-minute book talk fun. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.